Good evening, everybody. We're going to open the planning board meeting for tonight, Thursday, the 19th of January in the year 2023 at 7:04. We have Bert Gainer, Rick Murray, and myself, Amy here. We have one addition that we're going to be adding to the agenda, or hopefully voting to add to the agenda. We have, first of all, this meeting is being recorded. And we have 705 petition 981 for R&J LLC 0 and 314 Plymouth Street special permit for oversized storage building. Determination required within 90 days from close of the hearing, no extension required. We'll need to either vote for an extension tonight or have an action on this. 7:15, we have Kosiah Nasrallah, Pat Maloney at 416 Plymouth Street for a site plan review. We have 7:30, 8 Hilda Lane, which now we know they're going to come to the next meeting. And the addition would be 7:45, Larry Locos Tacos at 940 Plymouth Street for a taco trailer site plan review. We have hearings in the future for Ag Realty LLC and Malden Redevelopment, 0592 Plymouth Street for a site plan review. We have D'Angelo Duarte, 359 Plymouth Street in the future. And we have possible discussions on Halifax Trails, Curtin Brothers, 640 Plymouth Street, and Ellis Auto, 822 Old Plymouth Street. We have discussion from the Board of Selectmen meeting on January 10th, 2023 regarding Pasture Lane, Sherwood, and Island Estates, and Delia Way. We have no bills, no meeting minutes, and we have correspondence. Also tonight we have a possible executive session for 314 Plymouth Street and Halifax petition 983. Notice of action appealing the decision of the planning board of the town of Halifax, which was recorded in your offices on December 19, 2022. A copy of the complaint was filed at Plymouth Superior Court, docket number 2383, C as in cat, B as in Victor, Z012. A copy is at the town clerk's office as of January 5th, 2023. We'd be in executive session as discussing strategy with respect to litigation in an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the town. May I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
We'll make a motion to approve.
Are you on the phone?
It came up within the 48 hours. Yes. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to check out. Thank you so very much. So, bye-bye. I double checked on that, and
Can we ask who was on
we
the
can,
phone during the public
if
meeting?
it came up, the request came up before the 48 hours. I don't know when.
It did.
Okay, then we have to take a roll call vote in order to hear it for tonight.
Yes, the town administrator stated that as long
Did
as
they have to do a roll call vote?
He didn't state that we had to do a roll call.
Oh,
He just said, but if you want to do a roll call vote, Bert,
yes, I think we should.
Rick,
Yes.
myself, yes. So that was the motion to allow the addition, and now we're gonna vote to allow Larry Locos Tacos on at 7:45. As per the applicant told us yesterday that we missed it and asked to be put on. I didn't think it would be a problem as it will be helping one of our Halifax residents.
Well, I agree. I don't think it would be a problem to do that, but we have to follow the open meeting laws, and if
Right,
it was posted, supposed to be posted 48 hours, it was worth checking on to make sure we complied with.
We've done
state
this
requires.
numerous times without this. However, we will, I will oblige and go forward and say that do you want to vote to allow the amended agenda?
I would make a motion to allow the amended agenda.
One second.
All right, all those in favor?
Could I ask for a roll call vote so we can comply with, please?
Sure. Roll call vote, Bert?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Myself? Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so first on the list, we have R&J LLC 0314 Plymouth Street for a special permit for an oversized storage building. So, looking at the files, can we ask who you were talking to for during a public meeting to get that address?
I'm town clerk. I called her, and she was going to verify it with the town administrator. She couldn't get in touch with him, but on previous, she did say with a roll call vote, we could do that.
Town clerk Susan
Town
Lawless.
clerk, yes.
Susan Lawless?
Yes.
So according to our files, this would be needing to have some sort of decision by February 2nd, 2023. So I was gonna say, can we ask for a continuance, or what do you guys think? Otherwise, it goes to site plan review. I mean, automatic site plan review. Approval, right.
Could I see the site plan what we have on equal 0 to 14? Thank you.
It's for the special permit for the storage,
On which one?
314.
I know it's 314. I don't know.
It's behind, yes.
Oh,
It's the one we did
I wasn't sure which one.
in October, I believe.
Is there someone here that's going to speak to it?
Not that I'm aware of. Anybody here for 314 Plymouth Street? We have to make some sort of an idea on what we're gonna do. We have to discuss it. We can email them to ask for a continuance.
Oh, that's me. Yeah. Sorry. Where we have some information on perks, I know that was brought up in our last discussion on the protests and whatnot.
We have not heard anything.
So we don't know at this point either if any recommendations as far as the outside, the construction of it or anything like that has been included. All we have is just, this is what we would be voting on, period.
Right, so I would think that the best process would be ask them for a continuance to have an extension on their site plan so that we don't go into automatic approval.
What do you think?
We wanted to go to automatic approval just because,
The time has elapsed.
so either we give them an extension or we don't approve it.
Or else they get an automatic approval for that.
So we can say, suggest give an extension, but we have nobody here to agree to the extension. What's the date on it? I'm
That's
sorry.
what protect the town.
February 2nd.
February 2nd. So if we send them a letter, I guess, and ask for an extension on it, they say no, will we be meeting again prior to the expiration time?
It's cutting it very close. I don't know. So the reason that it's cutting it very close is if we have no quorum that day, then it would go into an automatic approval. We need it.
Well, if we didn't have a quorum, and if they come out and just say, no, we don't want to give you an extension, they get an automatic approval without our vote.
If we didn't have a quorum on February 2nd.
So February 7th, our next meeting.
Right, but if we didn't have a quorum, you see what I'm thinking? Because we're closed a lot.
Right.
Like tonight, we're very
But
close.
again, even if we had a quorum, or we have a quorum on the 2nd, and they say, no, I don't want to give you an extension, they would get an automatic approval.
No, because then at that time, we could vote to,
It doesn't expire, or I guess we would have that meeting at that night to be able to.
hopefully have a quorum, and I just was hoping to get a 30-day extension to give the town a buffer. So I'm sure that you guys, I'm just gonna let you know that we're talking about the storage buildings that would be behind O'Reilly's, where they're going for the special permit for the oversized building and 10 storage buildings. So I'm trying to protect the town here by making sure that we're diligent upon this instead of waiting till the last second, as that would be a large undertaking next door to O'Reilly's and where you were previously. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? 314 Plymouth Street, the old Nesrales.
So, I'm sorry, is it going to be?
Hold on a second. If you want to speak, we need to have people go up to the microphone, state your name and address, and I would gladly please go up there and do so, but we need to do that.
Yeah.
Patricia Sullivan, Lime Lane, B15 Lime Lane. Can you tell me exactly where this building is going? Is it going behind O'Reilly's or is it going where Nesrello's is?
Behind O'Reilly's, and if you're looking at Nesrale's from the street, it would be to the back right behind O'Reilly's.
Isn't
There would
that-
be 10 buildings plus, right?
8.
Eight buildings. A total of 8 buildings, and one of them would need a special permit for being 25. Or no, we would need a special permit for an oversized building according to our bylaws.
Isn't that close to wetlands? Is it wetlands back there?
That would be a conservation, they're in front of conservation currently on an ongoing basis.
That's a big building.
So this all we have is a sheet? This all we have a period for that? There's no drainage or septic or anything?
Not everything is in the file. We have the file. Management at this time. There isn't any stormwater management put in that file, correct me if I'm wrong. No, right?
Stormwater management. I don't see any. I don't see any.
Just pictures.
This is from when we were in front of, when it was in front of zoning, we have it in the file, remember you brought it in.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm just trying to make sure that we're on top of everything.
I would make a motion to request for the 30-day extension.
Okay. And if they don't provide it, and we also, like,
We'll have to put on the agenda for the second.
and make sure we have a quorum.
Yes.
Can I get a second on that motion, and then we'll open up for discussion?
I'll second the motion.
Chris?
Chris Winowitz, 129 Circuit Street. So just in a previous meeting, that was going to be the Starbucks and urgent care, and they referenced there would be a new four-way stoplight where the Stop and Shop is. This would be the new street that goes out back to this, and then possibly, depending on what works out, there could be the urgent care up front, Starbucks,
Separate
outlets, and this would be all up behind it.
I believe they just haven't been numbered yet, would that be correct? Renumbered from the A&R, like they're just applying on the 314, so you're on 314.
Yeah, I just remember with the Starbucks, they were talking about a new street, it would be a four-way stoplight now.
That's what. That's what.
Anybody else?
Frank Johnson, 257 Elm Street. Just on the building from the previous meeting back in the fall, they said, and you guys have brought this up with them, something about color building and the design of the building back there, is that correct? Especially on that two-story building? There was supposed to be some plans for that. Have you not received that yet? And then the other thing is, there's going to be a potential conflict with the sharing of the roadways we talked about with the urgent care and the Starbucks and the auto parts in the previous meeting as well on the other plans. And do you think 30 days is enough? Maybe if you're going to ask for an extension, can you ask for a longer period of time than 30 days?
We absolutely could. I just wanted to make sure that if we didn't have a quorum on the second, that we would have done something to protect
Before
the
the
town
second,
from having an
correct.
automatic approval.
So you'll vote tonight, then instead of waiting till the second to roll the dice and see what happens, is that correct?
That is correct.
Is that why you're going with 30, not like a 45 or 60? Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. So, what about discussing between us that, if they don't give an extension, it should be added to the motion that we, would have a motion to deny the site plan review as,
Well, we don't seem like you have enough in front of us to approve it anyway.
right, but I'm just talking about the, the town. What happens
I don't think you should put an automatic denial or an automatic approval.
if they don't give an
Right.
extension? I'm just discussing it to
I
talk
would
to you
leave
guys
it,
about it.
I would leave it open. I don't know, I think that makes sense to go at least 45 days.
Okay.
If you'd like, I'll amend my motion to 45 days instead of 30.
Okay. Okay.
You'll have this second.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll email them first thing in the morning.
Thank you.
Is that everything?
I'm sorry.
That's everything?
Yeah.
Is it 7:15?
7:20.
At 7:23, we'll call for a 416 Plymouth Street for site plan review.
We have a fancy microphone. When you're ready, the spray button turns it on.
Yours.
Oh, right, because it's the thing.
I did send this electronically.
We did get it.
Sorry. So, it's easier to see when we install.
Oh, yeah.
Same stuff.
Wendy Engineering. This is at 416 Plymouth Street, which is the plaza. The Rockland Trust is here, the fire station's here, and Mr. Kasai Nezarella is also here with us. And what he would like to do is move his operation from the parcel of land you were just talking to down to this area right here, between the car wash and the plaza building. He would like to lease out approximately 38,000 square feet for his outdoor plants, flowers. He would like to have a greenhouse and a trailer office at the site. And then we have spots for these, the loam and spots for the mulch and this fire. So he's basically going to have the same business that he has a quarter of a mile up the street down here.
What other changes and additions are on the plans?
The only other change that we had, we were also, I believe that the Halifax Plaza people were thinking about renting out what we used to call the lint building, or the small building behind the plaza that used to collect the lint when it was a car wash. And I believe that somebody had applied to restore automotives there, but I don't know that for sure. But that's the only other thing that I know of that's going on here.
Okay, you mean the laundromat, right?
Yeah, the laundromat used to be on the inside.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But that building is not included in your proposal, right?
No, this building's already existing.
Yes, but I mean, it's not going to be used for what you're applying for here.
No, it is not.
Okay.
The Nezarellas will not be using that.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And if the applicant was going to use that, we'd have enough parking?
Yeah, we have like 121 spaces now.
Okay, it's just been over the last, 6 months, we've had a kennel maybe, and then they were gonna split the church and things like that, so they're not proposing any of those things
No,
at this time?
the dog person walked, doggy daycare, because we couldn't get them an outdoor walking area by the Conservation Commission. It would be too close to the conservation, so they dropped out.
Okay. That's good. And then, how many units are currently in that? Is it just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Well, we have the
6?
church, we have a hair salon, and then there are 2 vacant units next to the Rodney's restaurant.
Okay.
And of course, the bank's been there.
And there's no plans for anything on that?
Not as far as I know. He's actively trying to fill a building, obviously.
Right, absolutely. Okay. Has this already gone through conservation with all the new wetland lines and all that?
Yeah, this wetland line, yeah, the answer is yes. We had filed this wetland line when we were doing doggy daycare to about right into this area. And then this wetland line was approved when we did the septic system 2 years ago.
Okay. Were there any additions of any parking spots to basically take care of Nezarellas farm?
No, we're going to dedicate these 12 spots right up in here as designated for Nezarellas farm.
Okay.
So that's these 12 right up at the corner. That's all currently paved and marked out, lined out.
I have a couple of questions. First one, the greenhouses, are those permanent structures?
Temporary.
They're temporary, so they're not a permanent structure?
No.
Also, I guess, Mr. Weber, you would know the answer to this. It's, you stated that it was on 38,000 square feet, so it's under an acre. So does that have, I know that it's not in the stormwater management district on the map there, but how would where it's under an acre, is it still gonna have to comply with the stormwater management?
Well, I believe under your bylaw, it does not have to, because it's less than the 43,560.
Right.
However, we're not paid in any of this. So,
Okay.
the only impervious surface would be the greenhouse.
And there's no construction on it or new construction on it, it's basically just the land?
Yeah, it's just the land. What we're proposing to do, what Mr. Nezarello is proposing to do is basically scrape the loam off the top
Yeah, but kind
and
of
then put a hard pack down like he has currently.
an impervious, impervious.
Impervious.
Right.
And even though that was wetlands that was allowed to be taken away before, that's okay as well, according to conservation?
Right, we got permission to remove that, there was an isolated vegetated wetland that was full of Phragmites invasive species, and the conservation allowed us to fill that in.
When was that, Mr. Wood?
21.
Okay. Is there any other egress onto the property that right on the 38 acres, or is it strictly coming in the other entryway to use those 12 spaces as parking? Is there parking going to be on the 38,000 square feet?
No,
No.
no. Currently the curb cuts, there's 1, 2, 3 curb cuts. We're not proposing any curb cut for this, other than to use the existing spot.
So then the only traffic coming in and out of the actual 38,000 square feet would be like you're going to continue to do wood, you know, and
Yeah.
making deliveries, so it'd be your 2 trucks
Yeah.
whenever deliveries.
That's it.
Yeah, okay. Are there curb cuts there now, or are they pre-existing?
There's no curb cuts in front of this, no. There's just these 3.
So then,
Those are-
Yeah, he's gonna be utilizing this one.
okay, that was my question. Thank you. I don't have anything else.
You pretty much answered it.
Are these parking spots 118 to 121 in the back of the building, are those new or,
No, they're lined out.
okay, I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, as far as I know, they haven't added any parking.
Because this square off of the back of the building,
Yeah, it's angles, yeah.
yeah, but so in front of that, the angled parking, there's a square off the back of the building. Do you know what that is? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you want me to point it?
Is that, there's a little
Right there.
concrete pad, yeah, I think that's an AC unit.
Okay, thank you. We do have to wait 30 days for, don't we, for comment from our boards?
I think they've already been sent out, the notices, if there were any problems with it.
We just got this today. Just by, I think we have to wait for our boards to comment on the site plan. That's what we have to do.
How about from Amy from the building inspector, does he have any questions or anything at all?
Well, I was gonna open it up so the public after we finish.
Well, it's
Yeah.
not the public.
Well, no, I meant right now.
He's the zoning enforcement.
I just meant after we discussed.
Jim Perry, Bill Inspector. I sent correspondence in a long time ago with my comments. You don't have them on record?
Well, this is a new plan as of today.
Oh, just,
It's
this is
site
a
plan.
modified plan today? Yeah, we haven't looked at that. I would think that would be recirculated to all the departments for comment.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do.
What's our time frame on this one? 3 days from,
Because it's a new
should we
plan.
have 2 other meetings then?
Yeah.
You want to wait and hear from the other boards?
Yes. I don't see any problems with this.
I don't, I just need to go by the town.
Would you like that in the form of a motion?
Well, I mean, it's just part of the process.
Okay.
So I guess that we would schedule you for, let's see. For the 18 or 13. I think you'll make our second meeting in February, let me just double check.
Would you say February?
It's like one day short of the 30th, but we could probably, if we work, I think that if we work to get all the comments, which we will, from all the other boards, that I think the 16th of February would be, I mean, I understand, because we could maybe go by the 17th to, I don't know, wait a minute, which day was this? The 18th. So today's the 19th, we're going by the 18th. I would say we'll put you on for the 16th of February, we'll have all the comments, everything will be in line, and we'll be in proper order. Okay.
Certainly.
So we'll make sure this gets circulated around to the board. So,
Thank you.
thank you. I'm shut it off.
February 16th?
And so I just,
It's supposed to be 30, but that's close enough.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we'll just make sure everything. As we stated earlier, 8 Hilda Lane is going to be coming in on February 2nd. And at 7:45, we have Larry Little's task force so we have a few minutes before that appointment comes up. We voted on this bill during the last meeting, and she just wanted it, like, a secretarial, just to sign. It was the engineering for the 68 pillar, and we voted on that.
So long ago, it's like, how long was the secretary, have you got any good?
There's application in. Jim has been diligently collecting those and trying to set up time so that we can sit down, and we were gonna try and make it that all of us can sit down and interview.
How
At
many?
least one of them.
Right,
Yeah, you guys, did you
How-
get them? No, should have been emailed over the other day.
yep, I'll send them over to you guys tomorrow. Okay,
It's quite a few.
Yeah.
I've lost count at this point. Was there like 6 and now there's like 8 or
I
9?
got a couple more emailed, yes.
Yeah, so that's promising. Do we have any idea? Can we have you go up to the mic just
Yeah,
for?
sure.
Do you have any idea of when the interviews or any interviews can be scheduled?
So we can start scheduling for next week.
Okay. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Do you,
depending on availability, like I said.
okay. And then you can let us know and we'll show.
Yeah, if you can decide, yeah, I think one person from the board should be there, I mean, if you guys discuss amongst yourselves, and, but it's up to you guys. I think, we'll get some availabilities, and then, we'll set them up with the, applicants.
Perfect. That'd be great.
Also talking about possibly, for the zoning secretary, or the planning board, those, and again, the planning secretary is going to get up further. We're some talk about putting it back, that's up to you guys, but there's a possibility of maybe getting one person to do zoning and planning, if it works out that way.
And then in that case, there would be somebody in the office all days.
Yeah, more coverage, yes. Conservation is kind of a separate entity, so it's kind of too much to combine with the other two. Zoning, planning, go hand in hand.
So we did a little bit discuss that at the last meeting.
Subject to whether or not.
So you do it one
We
full-time,
can do that.
part-time?
Yes, but don't know, what is it, we can allow that.
You know, we're not gonna get one full-time, it would have to be two, it would be one person with two part-time positions.
The communication would go. I guess we'll see what the applicants are and decide. Thank you, Jim.
We have to go to wage and personnel. We have to go to wage and personnel. I don't know why it wouldn't allow it, but I would think you'd still have to.
I'll double check with the town
Yeah.
administrator.
So to find someone that would really work for our lives, find two things. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I feel like if we start talking about the Board of Selectmen meeting, that might get a little lengthy and we only have, 3 minutes before our next appointment.
Was it, that was for all the bills we had, and that was it?
Yeah, we didn't have any more bills, and we don't have any meeting minutes, so that's another reason we need a secretary. And then I feel like we should just wait until our next appointment before we open up another subject. Do you guys agree?
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? This is so close.
What are we doing, in, as long as we have a couple minutes, what are we doing in the meantime about minutes? Are we,
I would welcome anybody's, suggestions, I guess we could ask.
Peggy or Caroline?
Yes, somebody.
What are the chances of that happening?
How far behind I am in minutes?
December, we don't have, our second meeting in December on, we don't have minutes.
So how many meetings? Just two,
3,
three?
including tonight.
Oh, they're on tape.
Yes, they are on tape.
Yes.
Well, let's see what we can do to get caught up. I can't guarantee anything, but, so will we get those tapes from Caesar or?
You can get them from YouTube or Caesar, I think there's a live stream, but Area 58, YouTube, I can come in and help Caroline get, or Peggy get started on either
Yeah.
one.
Okay, we'll try it.
That would be great. Yeah, 'cause we just have to get, we have to have that second one in December, at least, and then do one catch up each time. On these 2 minutes, I will, try them. I think we could probably, is Larry here, you ready to present? You can come up and start setting up. We have, do you need, any type of stand or something?
Here's the sign, you guys here. This is the sign that I looked at when I went in front of the trailer. It shows people on the park on the street and on the back. And then you listen like this, and the sounds pretty much back over there.
And you have on the site plan with that wording?
So, board website.
That's okay.
Yeah, so I think it's come up to everybody, so that way you can see one upside of it.
We're not gonna do your skills.
This is the original plan here. And this one here is the side, which is a little bit view where I'm gonna be. So, see that's the long view, that's one right here. I have blown up on here so you can see better. Right, so this is the original plan. As we go down here, this is another property. Oh no, this is where the trailer's gonna be. Those signs right there, and we all lined up in front here, pointing down this way. This is all the parking, all along here is the parking. I have all this area.
Where are we, by the way?
940
940,
Street,
where is
the
that?
industrial park.
Right
Ray's.
across, John McElroy's across from Palace's,
Okay.
so.
Across from Johnny
Yes,
That's what Carl was.
not the industrial park behind, the one across.
Across 106.
So these are gonna be just that one sign, or are you gonna have multiple
No,
signs?
that's my trailer right here. See that? That's the trailer. It's a 14-foot trailer. This is 150 feet. So my signs will be lined up in front of us so no cars can stop there. There'll be another sign here and here, direct one down there. We're parking. It'll say parking down here. For a little corner. So I have all this range of parking here. This way we're keeping people off. That was the main concern. He also gave me keys to his and hers bathrooms. The building's over here.
So this here is the street that goes back to the land.
Right here.
Okay.
Oh, this is it.
No, this is the.
That's the street to the way, this is the street next one over.
The
This
one
is
that
the-
goes back to Powerwitz and the,
This is my trailer right in its location. right here.
Is this coming and going every day, or is this gonna stay?
No. It's a few days a week. It's probably
So at
slightly.
night, I guess you're taking it out of there.
Yeah, it's gonna be more, yeah, it's not concurrent. It's just Sunday, Mondays, Tuesdays, just so the employees have extra hours and stuff like that, and the town has something.
And what are your hours of operation?
It'll probably be like 12 to 7,
12 noon?
12 noon to 7. From like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then the rest of the weekend, I pull it out to the private events.
and we already have these plans in our file, correct?
This is the original one. This, I have this blown up sideways just so you guys better look at it.
Oh,
See, this is the original plot plan.
so it's
This
the
is,
same thing.
yes, it's the exact same thing. This is just the original plot plan.
So we have, conservation has made a comment, if this is only for a food truck to be parked, then should be okay. Is applicant going to disturb any wetland or be within 100 feet of, can you see what that says? Right there.
It's not, it's all commercial.
Wetland. Pretty much.
No, it says.
DPW.
Ah.
So there's, I don't think so, there's no wetland.
Yes, it's all commercial, right? It's all parking.
Yeah. They were just saying that you'd need to.
The wetlands are over here. On the other side, the two strips over. So if you look at this one here, it's 1, 2, it's way over here. And after that, you got that pond and all that stuff on the street.
So people heading westbound would see the sign and you stand here and be able to pull in here and park.
Exactly.
People coming up here at 45 miles an hour.
They're gonna see a sign right here.
Oh, right there, where are they gonna pull in and park?
They can pull right in here. They pull down here, all this parking, so this is all
He's not
parking.
having anybody park at the street.
This is all parking over here as
Is that
well.
right? Is that right?
Mr. Perry, quick question for you. Is there anything as far as you know, as far as to be a setback
that has to be X number of feet from a street or anything like that. I don't think I've ever had any experience or applications like this in the past.
Yeah, there's no setback on parking.
No, setback on the trailer itself, so would it have to be back 150 feet or?
It's a trailer, so it's portable. It's not really a structure. Kind of a unique situation.
Yes. Same thing with the signs. We were just talking about that this afternoon with our 9 pages of signs. Can you just put up sandwich signs wherever?
There is a regulation for sandwich board signs.
Like to the number of them and
Size and number.
size and number. And I understand if you want to put the signs up all the way, if it's restricted in our bylaws.
The reason why they
it
want to
should
do that is they
specify.
don't pull over there, that's the one, to keep them from stopping there, so they know they have to pull around back. I'm just putting that idea out there to that would make you guys happy, so you're worried about people pulling over right here, which I don't want them to
I
do.
am, I'm concerned about 45 miles an hour
They're not
going
gonna-
down the street to pull over.
That's
Say,
right.
oh, there's a hot dog stand, I need to pull over.
That's why I want the signs there, so they know to pull out back. And this window is not gonna be facing the road, it's gonna be facing the edge. So they're not gonna see the window, they're all gonna be on to the picture and see it's there. They want you to look around and just slow down and put it in.
Do you know how to taco smell?
I mean, this guy's been asking me to come for a while, I've been so busy, but, yeah, they're doing a lot of events for him as well.
Who's that?
But we have,
Rick, really?
yeah,
So we did receive this application on December 19th, so today is the 30 days. And I will read into record all the other comments from the boards. We have,
What about the Board of Health as far as washing facilities and all that?
yeah, Bob, he already inspected, I've already permitted for this,
I'll start with that one.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
well, this year I have to get a new permit because it's in the year.
Yeah.
It's seasonal.
So on December 20th, the Board of Health wrote 1, restroom facility on site and available for work staff? Question mark.
Yes, I have Keystone, that's one, it's in hers.
Okay. And for your information, this is from Bob Valerie, everybody. All permits of required service are up to date and has been permitted and inspected by the Board of Health for 2 years with no issues. Bob Valerie. This one is from Jim Perry, the building inspector. I have reviewed the proposed site plan for 940 Plymouth Street, a food truck. Please be advised the applicant will need the following. A special permit is needed for a retail or commercial business with a drive-through, drive-in, or open-air sales operations in the appurtenant buildings, structure, in an industrial zone.
I have a peddler's license already, so
Okay, but you don't really have a drive.
that's the same thing. It's the peddler's license, that's the same thing, they do quality check on me, usually they already permits for that. That's why I call it peddler's license anymore.
Okay. And the project must comply with 521 CMR, which is Architectural Access Board.
Handicap access.
Okay. And then you have the parking for the handicap access there.
Yeah, they have handicap parking down there, and they have all kinds of, I believe there's like, I can't even count how many spaces there, there's 50, and those few of them, there's handicaps already down the way.
And
That's like, I don't remember exactly where they were, I remember they were there.
And then also Jim added the applicant will need a permit for food trailer, which we already determined was up to date by the Board of Health. We have the fire department. The attached site plan submission from applicant Lawrence McDonald was received by the planning board on 12/19 for review. He just wrote, okay, December 22nd, 2022, the fire chief. And that is all the comments that we received within the 30 days.
FYI, for fire inspections, I have a fire inspection from every single town on the South Shore. So I go to, they all have multiple fire inspections.
Mr. McDonald, how many employees are you going to have people working?
I have 4 employees.
Okay, oh, so there'll be 5 people working there?
Not at the same time, they're
Oh, that's-
rotating, you know what I mean? So it depends on how busy it is. I won't know until I'm there. So I do have girls that rotate, you know what I mean? If it's really busy, I'll put on as many as I need to. You know, so.
Did we get, I'm sorry, if you said it, I missed it. Is there any comments from the police department as far as, no? That would be my only concern, just the speed of the cars going through there, that would be my only concern.
Do you think pretty more problem than existing?
Well, I personally would like to hear from the police chief to see if he thought if it was gonna be a problem at 45 miles an hour going by and pulling in.
Excuse me.
You
Just-
know what you're gonna be there, if that's where you're going, then I don't see it as a problem, if you know, I'm gonna pull in there going up the street, but in the same breath, you know, it's kind of a spur of the moment type decision, oh, there's a nice taco stand, let's
It's
stop
the same
there.
as Dunkin' Donuts, and they got less parking than I do. Dunkin' Donuts has traffic going on the road because they don't have room. I have plenty of room. I have more room than they do, and I'm only a little trailer.
If they pull by, they just have to turn around and back.
I'm not trying to put them out there, but they are out there with people trying to.
There is a difference, people know now, they've been here so long, that Dunkin' Donuts is there. You're just driving down the street, there's a taco stand, you know, I think that's different. And and Dunkin' Donuts certainly isn't right on the road, Plymouth Street, it is set back, just the safety issue, I'd be interested in hearing what the police chief would have to say, or the police department, whatever. I don't know.
Should we open it up for public comment?
Sure.
Anybody have any public comment? Anybody want to share any thoughts on this? Do you want to, first of all, let me try and pull this up. Can you take a side?
They would trailer be right here. This is 106, and the parking's all back here along the side of the road. So
Anybody have anything? You good? Thanks, Larry.
do you want to say?
Sorry.
I'd like to say also, we have had stands in the past, we have had them up there,
Across the street from the
up
mall.
by Twin Lakes Liquors, we had
Across the street from the
a
mall.
hot dog stand there years ago.
Can we have this conversation?
There's no parking right. This is not legal, we have parking, it's not on this one, not there, you know. But as it is now, this is all parking, everything, so if you want to park on there, we have park on there.
Can we have these questions asked publicly so we can all hear it?
Mr. McDonald,
We need the resident to ask the questions from the mic so that
and
everybody
be
can
recognized
hear.
by the chair.
Yeah, can we have you ask the question up there so that we have to have it, so that it.
I was just trying to pinpoint it where it was located.
She was just trying to see where the trail was and where the parking was.
Oh, okay. Well, we just wanted to make sure because it's a public meeting and being recorded, right?
So my point was, we have had stands in the past. We've had one at, up there, what was the name of the place? Well, up by Twin Lakes Liquors, up there on 58. I believe it was a hot dog stand. And then we had the other one that was down on Carver Street, across from the mobile station. You know, we had one there. Did they do hot dogs or did they do fish and stuff? I think it was hot dogs. Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about? Just opposite the mobile station. It used to be a restaurant there. So we have had them in the past. Oh, wait.
Those locations, 45
Exactly.
The roasted dog used to be right across from mobile. Irene now works for me, I just own the hot dog cart. She's one of my employees.
So I don't know if you'd be open to it, but I
That was the only thing I'd accepted on the basis of no problems with the fire, with the police department. That would be my only concern, and that they comply with current zoning as far as signage, and you're pretty sure that it does not have to have a setback from Plymouth Street,
The trailer itself,
the trailer itself.
I'll look into it again, but it's a core structure, it's not.
Well, it's not a permanent structure.
No, it's not weird.
Right.
Like you said,
That makes it exempt. I know it's not a permanent structure, but I mean, that exempts it from any kind of,
Doesn't, yeah, we don't have any. It's
as you
new.
know, yeah.
This is basically this, oh, sorry, this is basically the same size as like a,
Just like a normal small sign you stick in the ground, if you would, if you were.
and you remove, yes, like for a real estate.
Yeah, it's not
or-
big and broad, it's just
Yeah.
small to keep people from, enough that they can see it, know they can't stop there, and it's telling them to park on the road. Just direct them, don't stop here, go around the back.
What is the regulation, Mr. Perry, as far as the signage? Is it like over, nothing bigger than 2x3 or 2x4?
The signboard is different, but typically it's 30 square feet on a regular sign per side.
And they'll be removed at night, correct? So you put them out and put them, and then bring them back in?
Yeah, they don't stay there once the sheriff going to get with me. They're
So
not
they'll
going.
take 10.
That's why you just like those voting signs, you just stick them around.
Yeah. Put our rings open and take it in and work.
I mean, we don't want to try to understand that.
So you see, right? That's what I would call it.
That says like this, which is, oh, that's the definition, what's it have for? restrictions?
So,
Yeah, it's gotta be somewhere in this 6 pages thing. Any specific ones for temporary sandwich boards, non-conforming signs? See, 35%. Okay.
Again, a temporary sign.
and there isn't any limit on how many, correct?
Others,
I believe there's one.
two.
Two, yes.
Two signs per lot, cars.
Correct,
Oh, it's public service, I was gonna say 2 square feet of that.
That's political.
that's right.
Section, exceed 12 square feet.
Yeah, definitely lower than that.
10 feet from the lot line.
Like that. Motion.
Such size. So this maximum one, occupancy property and 2 one lot.
It says allowable by permit from the building inspector.
Yeah, it says that it allows 2. Okay.
A multi-occupancy property.
Yeah, that's right.
And shall not exceed 6 square feet, it says. That's pretty small.
Well, that would be like 3 by 2.
Yes.
This is 1.5 by 2. Right? Yeah. 1.5 by 2. Bert, you want to, make a motion on that?
Well,
I think I got a motion.
actually, the only motion if you want to form a motion, just would rather contact or hear from the police department as far as the, safety concern of it, see what get his opinion on it before it's voted. I don't know if you need that formal motion or if just continue it to our next meeting. I'll make a motion to continue it to the next meeting until we hear from get a response from the police department.
Okay. I would actually agree with that. My only thought process would be that we just did 30 days and have it covered. So like, I didn't know. I agree with you, but I'm just stating we did get 30 days, we hadn't. So I didn't know if maybe we make a motion to approve with final approval from the police.
You got it for,
Do you know what I mean?
Got it for, what's that?
Like, if the motion stated, we would, if this is how you feel, you would motion to approve this food
Contingent
trailer as an
approval of the,
police.
I'll let the talk to him. Go ahead, let us talk to him, have a conversation.
Well, you should put it in writing so that it's public record.
Agreed.
But
I think we should just continue it to the next meeting, which is only 2 weeks away. We could get up and running. I don't think it would take more than a couple of weeks to get a response from them. We have a response from everybody else. That's about the only one.
no, I agree, but I'm just stating that we gave 30 days, that's the time period, so it goes out. And it goes out to all the boards and allow 30 days for comment, so we haven't received any. I understand what you're stating.
Did we
and
get
I
comments from
agree.
everybody except, I thought we had letters of comments.
Yes,
Oh.
so when it went out to everybody, we didn't receive a comment back. That's what I'm stating, so we gave the allowable time. So my thought process is, due to the applicant being here and the chance being there, we should approve, in my opinion, we should approve with the opinion of the police being okay and any suggestions that he would have. And if he did have different things that we could go on February 2nd, but then if not, we wouldn't be prohibiting somebody from town doing work, based on the fact that 30 days didn't go by. You know what I mean? You see what I'm?
And he wasn't notified, the police department wasn't notified to, like, call
We
me.
don't know.
Well, every other board, well, not every other board, but the fire department, the board of health, the building department, so conservation, you know what I mean? They're not forced to give comment. But I understand exactly, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. However, I just mean, like, in fairness, without causing issue.
I think a 30-day extension, if you want to do it that way, but I just figured if our next meeting is in 2 weeks, he can be up and running in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Right,
I don't feel comfortable, to be honest with you, making a contingent upon the approval. If we approve it, don't wait till you hear. I think we're going to wait to hear from the police chief and then the people.
yeah, I was just thinking that should be in a lawsuit, so that's an issue. 30 days go by, we haven't heard from the police.
I'll make a motion, we want to extend it to 30 days, that's fine.
We don't need to extend the application, it's 45 days, so we still have, it is going to be something close on this one too, right? So we have 12. It's 31, it's 40, it's again, when we write on the nose for the second finger. So a site plan extension for some time would be,
Make it the minimum 30 days, that's fine with me. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But then again, too, I don't see why it wouldn't be that quick. We could vote on it on the second too, and get it up.
right, as long as we have one, nobody said, everybody's here, then he'll get
Oh, I see what you mean. So even if it was a 30-day extension, we could still vote it on the next meeting. We just have the 30 days. I see. Yeah, we don't have to wait.
As long as we get an answer from the.
Right. You could put them on the agenda and get them going by our next meeting.
Can I make a comment, please? Because the reason why I'm doing this anyways is for the girls that work for me. Because they have kids, they need work, they need more hours. The longer we wait, the longer they don't work. You know what I mean? They have part-time jobs, but I'm mostly full-time. They're counting on me. So I just want to throw that out there. If we keep putting it off for more meetings, that's just taking food off of them. You know what I mean? Just putting that out there. I mean, if I have to get a certain letter from the police department, I can go there tomorrow. You know what I mean, if you want me to bring it to them, you know what I mean? I just don't want to keep putting it off
Or is
30
there
days.
a chance to just like approve it now? And you can't start until the police say it's okay?
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially due to the
Instead
fact
of waiting
that we
2 more
have
weeks,
it
maybe you
30
can
days.
answer tomorrow and get home. Or does it have to come back to the board?
It doesn't
I thought
make
you
it,
wanted an official public record.
well, I was saying that we could approve it based on what we have, with the caveat for the police chief to sign off on it. 'Cause, you know what I mean, just.
I know exactly what you mean, but, you know,
Because if you
if the
don't,
police department says, oh, okay, they don't have a problem with it, except for the fact, I don't want it too close to the road, I want to be back further, then we have to put that in as a contingency. If you,
well,
as opposed to either him saying yes or no, then go ahead, you know what I mean?
well, if he agrees with it as is, then.
Or would he agree to
it's
it as is, right?
Do you see what I mean? So you can make it so that he would, if he approved it as is, then we would approve it, if that's how you guys felt. By the bylaws. Does that make sense to you?
I understand what you're saying, and as I mentioned before, I feel better that
I understand and I feel that same way. I completely agree. I would like to hear from it because that's one of the thoughts that went across my mind.
well, then, I'll make a motion to continue the hearing until we hear from the police chief's comments.
So they're waiting 2 weeks and then.
Yeah. Because I would rather do it that way than we, like you said, have it an official record, it's on public record and whatnot. And if he has concerns about speed and distance and whatnot from the road, from a state highway, because technically that's what he's doing. He's going to be X number of feet off the state highway, so
Right.
I feel that.
Which we are in 30 days, so technically we have done what we were supposed to do and now we're hindering. Where we're looking for a comment from somebody instead of approving it, that's just my thought process on it. I think
The
that,
fact that we didn't get any comment from them, and we just didn't, it just means it's okay if you didn't have a problem with it. We would have commented one way or another, I would think.
it would be good if we could make it that I think each board should comment either way. But I just was thinking 30 days is up, like, we're sort of now holding somebody up. 19th,
When?
the 19th of December. So it's now 12 plus 19 is 31 days. Do you see what I'm saying? So now we put ourselves a little bit at risk of having an issue.
Well, then, the best I would recommend is do like you said, the 30-day extension on it.
Oh, well, I was meaning that it would expire on the 2nd, so we could get that extension if that was the way we were gonna go. But my thought process was to approve it based on that it follows the bylaws, and as long as it has all the permits, with a sign off of the police chief. That would be the way I would go. To protect all aspects.
Well, like Bert was saying, if the police chief has a problem with being so close to the road, you almost have to come back.
But so he would have to approve it as is, or he would have to come back. So we could ask him to do an extension for 30 days just in case that problem on the 2nd. And if there was a change that the police needed made, then we could see him on the 2nd. Does that make sense?
Sure. Did you make
Give
those?
me 30 days just to cover ourselves.
I would say because of the same issue that I brought up in the beginning, just to protect the town from automatic approval.
Permit on?
Yes.
Erica Rossini, 60 Run Road. So past practice has been you give the departments 30 days, they get back to you. So you either need to accept the 30 days went, and some departments responded, some departments didn't, or you need to implement a policy where it says 30 days and each department has to do a checkup. You can't keep, but sometimes, oh, okay, everybody did get to us, okay, we're gonna make a decision. You can't keep going back and forth. This is ridiculous.
And that was the point that I was trying to.
No, I understand, I understand.
He didn't make a decision. He didn't respond. That was his response. He responded.
If the concern is the trailer, the location of the trailer, is that what it is?
Huh?
Is the biggest concern about the trailer, or is it the wait for the police department?
It's first concern. And
It's a public safety issue as far as I'm concerned, it's a safety issue.
I could actually move this behind the line of trees, if it makes any difference. You know, there's that little line, if you look at the plot plan, there's a line there, those are trees there. I was trying to be on that side so I didn't notice, but if it's a big deal, I can just put it on the other side of those trees, so it's not directly on the road, it's kind of behind the trees a little bit, you know what I mean, so. And I could have like maybe a flag out there that says up there, instead of the trailer being there.
I would figure out probably.
I mean, most of my stuff's gonna be online ordering anyways, when they order online, you're gonna see where it's directing and telling them to park. Please park in the red when they see the one on the web and everything else. So I'm trying to do everything in my part to make sure nothing's gonna be up front. I know everybody's concerned, but, I mean, I'm more concerned, I don't want somebody pulling up right there either, cause of an accident, you know, I wanna make sure they're gonna be moved to the
What
back.
if it was behind the trees and that makes
See, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, it would make more sense with behind the trees, if it was less that, on the street.
I agree.
The trailer or
Further, but my point is, as a member of the board, I would rather have the police department tell me, yeah, the trees are great, the sun's great,
And I 100% agree
They had
that
the 30
the 30
days and they
days
don't
is
follow,
up and
that's
then
what
we should be in trouble for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. The 30 days were up on February 2nd.
No, so the 30 days for comments was up yesterday.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. The
If you think about the trailer,
45
is
day
it-
site plan review, expiration is on February 2nd.
All right, so we have to February 2nd.
Right.
I think put it on the agenda for a continuance, give it February 2nd.
As long as we get concluded.
I'll be honest with you, I feel comfortable him going to the police and coming back. But as a matter of public record, I thought it would be.
Amy, right here?
We are, so, excuse me, I'm having a conversation here. Feel better if, like you said, it was a matter of public record, where we have something in the file. that the-
But we had a deadline, 30 days, so like
Yeah.
by ordinance,
Well-
like Mrs. Rosini said, we're now making it open for them to comment after their deadline, and it could be a lawsuit,
That we get a call from.
but it could be a lawsuit because it's already past the time.
We just,
It could be.
it's not a bylaw that they're required to respond in 30 days. They do say, please respond in 30 days, but I don't think it's a matter of legal.
It is a bylaw, it's not a site plan review policy.
Okay.
Yes.
So if this is the problem here, I can actually move it over here, so it's inside the lane of the road, so they have to pull in. You know what I mean? So there's two sides, there's a lot of land, I can move it anyway, that's the beauty of owning a trailer. If you don't like it here, I can move it there, if you don't like it there, I can move it over there. It's not a building. I'm not
Well, it's not a
building.
problem with us liking where it is, it's just, he's like Bert was saying, which I agree with him, is that, the police department gonna have a problem, they haven't responded yet, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a bad idea to let him hear what he has to say, That's our only concern. Yeah, I don't have a problem where it is, I don't see any problems, if there's a building inspector or nobody has a problem, I don't see a problem. I mean, as far as people zipping down the road and seeing you there and pulling over the side of the road and walking back to your trailer, when it's right there, I can see that being a problem. If you're further back where they're not gonna see you,
Yeah.
You know, like you say, most people are online, you know, if you're there a certain, you know, after you're there a long time, they're gonna know you're there anyway, people are gonna wanna go there.
I do want to advertise that one anyways, so.
Yeah.
Chris?
I just wanted to say, I don't want to see them held up any longer, because I think it's a good idea, but I also think it's a legitimate concern, because from the town line to about Pine Street, Cranberry Drive, is a high-speed area, and right down the street, the police are already having a major problem with people crossing 106, with almost major accidents, seems like every other week. And down close to him, I've also watched, because we're bringing in, you know, I think a million tons of contaminated dirt to come to Halifax. And there's up to 118 wheels a day doing 50 miles an hour. And I've seen some cars pull out the local businesses, and the 18-wheeler fully loaded has to throw on the jake brakes to try to slow down on that section 106 right there.
No, I 100% agree with you, Chris. That's not the point, it's site plan review policy, that's all.
Yeah, so I don't want to see it held up, but I think the police chief should
We don't wanna see it held up either.
have a part of it or something.
Nothing personal.
Yeah, I would be saying that, carrying on process,
Yeah.
policy.
Sure, Barry, go inspector.
Or make contingent upon approval from the police station, so.
So if he approves it tomorrow, they're good to go tomorrow?
They know,
Okay.
that's not a problem.
All right.
I was just gonna suggest you could take a vote, either approve or disapprove, with the stipulation that the police chief has no issues with the plan as proposed. I think the applicant is willing to do pretty much whatever he needs to do to satisfy the police chief, so as not to hold him up. I think that would be the prudent thing to do.
I never.
Yeah, that was nice.
No, just cover all the bases, that's all. It should happen tomorrow, so.
Because otherwise you'd want to continue it to February 2nd, right?
There was one.
Yeah,
Not
Yeah,
wrong,
right, right.
that's the wrong word, but you know what I was trying to mean. I hope.
All right, then I'll make a motion to approve petition number,
Hold on, right.
I understand.
There it is. So you said, no, it's not like a petition, right? So you'd say, make a motion to approve the application for site plan review at 940 Plymouth Street, made on December 19th, 2022, to sell tractors on the side of the road for my food trailer, number 22 SPR-233. See that on bottom?
that is the, what number is that now?
Year 2022
Yeah.
site plan
Just
review,
a site plan.
233.
233. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the application of Mr. McDonald, located for his business at 940 Plymouth Street in Halifax. His site plan review number 233, contingent upon compliance with the requirements of the building inspector as far as signage and is in approval of the or requirements from the Halifax Police Department. How's that?
I'll second that.
Any discussion?
No, we discussed it all.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
So you're gonna go in to see the police tomorrow?
Yeah, no, I'm sure he's,
You said police and building, right?
Yes.
All set? Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Okay. Does anybody want to discuss anything about Halifax trails, or are we good on that?
Well, as far as Halifax trails go,
For the 40B. Yeah.
right. Again, that's the comprehensive permit from the zoning board of appeals. I'm sure once that application is and before the zoning board, you don't have to be asking us for our opinions on different things or whatever, and certainly share with them. But even as I discussed with Mr. Perry, you know, it's basically when it gets to the zoning board, they're the ones that have the comprehensive permit. So, you know, I do plan on participating and adding my own personal views as a board member, but I think that's the forum that,
For sure.
you know, we could.
It's just on the agenda for discussion.
Yep,
if you wanted
yeah,
to.
that's just how I feel about it. And I think too, you know, I think at this point, are they including that one building across the street at the Peach Farm? Which is, we don't know yet. Oh, well, I don't know yet. Maybe they have.
When they came to present so that we could understand what to make comment on, they included it. But from the selectman's standpoint, John Concealy, he stated that they didn't include it.
That's how
on that day
I
or before.
understood it. So,
Mhm.
you know, we're talking abstracts at this
Yeah.
point, you know. I mean, the basic principle of, yes, I personally have spoken with the fire department chief, you know, in regards to, you know, the three-story building. We don't have a fire truck that can go beyond 75 feet. There is no road that goes behind even access if there was a fire in the back of the building. And see, this is all comes out with the comprehensive permit process, and I'm pointing to Mr. Nezrella, you know, with the zoning board. So, you know, I think all those points and, you know, will come out during the correct process of the 40B application, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. That was a good point on the going behind the building.
There's no
because
road
I
that
was
goes behind
thinking
it.
that we only had the ladder for the 2.5, but I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. Okay. And next is 640 Plymouth Street. Did everybody do a site plan walk?
Yeah, I took it.
640. I'm sorry, which one's 640?
Curtains.
Oh, curtains, yes, I went up there too, on my own, and just to open a discussion with it, I guess, but with the new stormwater management, I had a, you know, question like when you brought up about the pavement issue. I guess under the new stormwater management bylaws, it specifically states that even the processed asphalt is actually better and more conducive to complying with the new stormwater management criteria, where it's more pervious to the impervious asphalt. Now, the only other question I had was, you know, with the parking issue. I don't know if there's designated parking spaces or it has to be painted on the actual surface indicating the parking spaces, as long as I didn't know, that was not only, I knew being out there, I knew they had enough parking space available, you know, where you do the math, you know.
But they're a certain size and they have to be painted.
Do they have to be painted on? Okay.
Yes.
I think the last meeting, Mr. Kirk agreed to should be painted on if it had to be. That's how we had to comply, and that's why I would do it. But my personal view was I didn't know if just that, if you had the space in the designated area, or if it actually physically had to be painted. I knew that, I don't know.
I don't see the need of it, it's just his own personal
Right.
use.
This
2 employees, and I believe there's a sign right on it that, you know, like, the traffic that comes in is minimal, you know, everything's either.
No, the customers back there, designated.
The only thing I will state is that when we don't follow the parking bylaw, then how are we going to uphold the law when 359 Plymouth Street asks us for where their parking is going to be, or 314 Plymouth Street?
Right.
Or any,
Right, so that's
So-
why he's going to be, you know, that's,
we need, yeah, so
Yeah,
we,
that's
like
fine.
that, like, because if we don't uphold the bylaws
right,
on a consistent, constant basis,
Yep.
we are opening ourselves to lawsuits.
right,
Because, and especially with, you know, different things going on currently, we're going to be tipping our hand to issues with that because they're gonna ask why.
My point was not that he didn't have to comply, Amy, it was for my own benefit, I didn't know exactly how it was worded, if it, you know, you had the space or whatever, it wasn't like, you know, there was an objection to it, I just didn't know for my own benefit on how it worked, you know. But I do, you know, remember at the last meeting, say if you needed payment, they'll pay it, so it's,
Well, the whole issue was it being paid, but, you know, like we just said too, I don't see the need of it. I don't see the need of it.
It would
If
be
he
a
has-
modification site plan.
Yeah, so you can just apply for a modification and just paint some lines and call it a day.
Okay, so is that what we're gonna ask them to do, is modify a site plan? And put it in front of us?
that doesn't have to be modified.
Yeah.
It's on the site plan, but it's painted, that's
Yeah.
what, it's just complying with what
It
it
just went from paved to, you know,
So it has to.
you know, it's crushed asphalt, it's still, it's hard as rock, still asphalt. It does the job. Is it really that critical? They have to have it painted.
We can't decide. We really can't decide what was given to them on, or what they presented for a site plan, got approved. It needs to go for a modification, or we're opening ourselves up to not being able to, have anyone follow site plan.
Okay, there is another thing. We just got through doing the same thing, so maybe, did we make a mistake? Like if, now the Taco Beer thing the police chief comes back and says, no, I want it 30 feet, does he have, where his site plan says it's located right, you know, X number of feet, and now the chief wants it further back, does he have to file a modification for that?
Yes.
He was just saying we move behind the trees, but that's how the plan showed.
That's, is or is not?
Well, it's not what showed the plan.
Yeah, so then they'd have to have a modification of the
Unless
site
it's
plan?
approved by the police. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If he says he's got to move it, then it's postponed again because he's got to file for a modification of the site plan. Right?
Well, that's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
That's a good.
But if it's modified, it's modified.
Not to get off this subject, but if he sees the chief tomorrow and the chief wants to move back 25 feet, he can have the plan adjusted so the trailer is shown at the next meeting when he comes in. He can submit the actual plan based on what the chief wanted. Very simple.
But where,
Yeah, that's what
But
I,
Well, just
the
the
next
next
question.
point, you know?
so we'll have to sign the site plan when it is approved.
Oh, the other.
Anybody.
Yes.
Right, but the situation we're here right now is that there is a site plan that's approved and signed. So unless they follow everything
Okay,
and everything that's on the site plan,
right.
then we can't just say, no, you don't need it, because it was already
Sure.
signed.
Okay.
So they have to go for a
I'm
modification.
sorry, I have to
No.
explain all this to
No, no, no.
You know, that's
It's
what I'm
actually
thinking, the same
probably great
thing.
for everybody to hear, right?
If we do the same thing, it could be contingent upon the lines being paid as opposed to contingent upon the police department approval. You know what I mean? As long as we're consistent, I guess is my point.
I guess it would be that, like, just say, for example, like XYZ convenience store had a site plan, and they didn't do some of the things on the site plan.
Right.
How are we supposed to make sure that they do those things when we let it go? They'll just be like, well, you didn't make them do it,
Of course
so
they will. That's,
So
I agree with
that is
that.
why we have to follow the process. It's not personal, it's just business,
Okay,
right?
do it that way then. Unless,
He can either apply to the, do the things that are on the site plan, or modify. And ask us for approval.
oh, so,
So he
I
can
just
put in-
said, so if you just paint something.
No,
Oh.
he would have to put in for a modification of site plan approval
I missed,
In
understood
order-
what you just said.
in order to change the site plan that is already signed. Because currently we have a site plan that's signed, and then we have an as-built that doesn't match the site plan. So we can't just let it go. We have to have it match the site plan in order to sign off.
So,
Or we can apply for a modification of site plan.
all right.
Seems like that's what's gonna happen. The only thing you modify is get rid of the pavement, it's all just painting the recent.
See, that's.
And that's-
understand.
and-
See, I could see applying for a modification that said no about painting the parking spaces, but in order to comply with the site plan, he just has to paint them and then complies.
But there's also paving on there that he would have to modify.
It kind of is paved, really.
It doesn't matter, it's not what it states on the site plan, it states
Show me
that
what it
it's
says, please.
paved to that apron. I'm sorry?
Should we list that on the plan, so you guys are paid, what does it say?
Can you go up to the mic and speak? I'm sorry, it's just, we have to. You want this one? State your name.
Please, 23rd from 640 Plymouth Street, please show me your site plan.
Where was the one that was signed that we looked at last week? Just give me a second to pull up the site plan. Proposed paved parking,
All right, so,
and it's signed.
all right, proposed paved parking, what does that mean?
Means that the paved parking is paved, and this is the line where it stops.
Okay.
It goes out to the apron, and so this is paved. This is reprocessed asphalt.
Correct, it's paved.
This
Why do you
is-
think it's paved? Why do you, leave the lines in paved? Why don't you consider that to be paved?
I would, because it's not paved.
What is paving? That's my
Well, it would
question.
be like so that this is a different paving than reprocessed asphalt.
What is the definition of paving? It could be concrete, it could be stone, it could be,
It doesn't show a detail.
Parking criteria, 5 spaces and 1 space for each 2 people employed, plus 1 space for each 2,000 square foot floor area for the first 20,000, 2 employees. 6 spaces, 2,800 square feet, 2 spaces equals 8 parking spaces required.
Excuse me,
sorry.
Jim Perry,
the detail page should show the type of page required.
thank you.
It shows a detail.
Parking pavement.
The detail showing 3 inches of pavement.
Binder course, surface course, process select gravel, compacted bank on gravel. It's not personal. It's just what's on here that we have to follow.
I get you.
Yeah, I'm not. It's impersonal.
modification.
Sorry, it's for the recording.
When you guys said modification,
You go through you?
no, I helped him out with the forms, he's got to go through the planning board.
Why didn't you explain that to me when I was there?
I told you nobody was there, excuse me, I said nobody was there from the planning board,
Can we please?
and I would help you get the forms required. I went down and talked to the acting town administrator.
And everybody, just as a reminder, you need to go through the board and then we'll ask the question. We can't have arguments. I'm just letting everybody know. It's not personal.
And I went down, he was the only one there with the secretary. I asked for the paperwork, he did not produce the paperwork, he didn't know what it was, same with the secretary. Nobody from the planning board was there. So we requested it, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, here.
No, you did, you gave me something that you thought was. You
I
had-
talked to John Accountant, which was the previous planning board secretary. I gave you the application for site plan approval, and I told you to write on there modification.
But you weren't sure.
Hold on.
I told you that, did
The
I?
conversation needs to come to us. Jim.
He wasn't sure when he gave you the
And then
paperwork.
we'll go back and forth.
He wasn't sure when he gave you the paperwork, so I wasn't gonna fill something out and muddle this up anymore, Amy.
Okay.
Because this has become so personal. How many times do we have to
It's
do
not
it?
personal.
Are you guys sick of looking at me? Seriously? I'm tired of being here.
It's not personal. No, it's, why is it personal?
Well, Mrs. Greeley, it's very personal.
Mrs.
Yes.
Greeley?
Yes, Miss Former Greeley, yes. Yeah,
It's been 8 years.
it doesn't matter, it's still a huge conflict of interest,
It
Amy.
doesn't
Big
matter.
conflict of interest.
No, it's not. Wow.
So what's your take?
Just for the record, I don't handle the planning board, I was trying to help Joe out. You know, there's no secretaries in that office.
Well, I was just gonna say, now that we don't have a secretary,
So I think that's a good job.
does he need to get an application for site plan review, put modification on it,
Has it,
fill it out?
has anybody ever filled out a modification for a site plan in this town before?
Yes,
What forms did they use?
the site plan review.
Did they mark it up as a modification here?
Yeah, that's what we have Hilda Lane under, that's what we have, anybody under, who comes in for modification, it's always just been under the site plan review.
So, I guess that answers the question.
Yeah.
And that will get recirculated to all the boards for comment, I would imagine.
Yes.
Just get that way.
Okay, moving on, Ellis Auto, 822 Old Plymouth Street. Where did we leave on that?
So what do we end up doing here?
He's coming for a site plan modification, right?
It's either that or the other, right?
Yes, he has to follow the site plan, or do the site plan modification. It's just what has to happen, according to the plan. It's not personal.
And Mr. Ellis's, what's Ellis Auto's non-compliance?
Yeah, what's going on about that?
I think we need to speak. We just need a site.
The last time I spoke with Alice Auto, he was told also that he needs to do a site plan, as-built, final as-built site plan for the planning board, so that you guys can sign off, so that we can schedule a certificate of occupancy inspection.
Okay. And what, wasn't there a third one? Was it Coletti's Kitchen or something like
No,
that?
that was a misprint.
Oh, okay, I thought there was.
Yeah, that was on there, that was not.
Oh, and he's been notified that that's gonna be required?
Yeah, yes, I spoke to him, he came to my office a few days after the last meeting.
And
He was in Florida.
And just to clarify also, that's a site plan review application with modification on it.
I don't believe he's got, I don't know he's got modifications, because, again, I do not have the endorsed plan, but he's pretty much done as far as I know, as far as the building goes. As far as the site goes, I don't know what was required.
All right, thank you.
So is everybody all set with that? for today?
I don't have any more questions on that.
Mr. Shea?
John Shea, 530 Thompson Street. In regard to 359 Plymouth Street, the site plan review is going to be coming up. Is that been accepted as is? Or,
No. I believe that what we've done, what we've done is ask them to apply for a special permit with the zoning board of appeals.
Okay.
Due to the fact that they're light industrial
Okay.
in a commercial business. We also, good thing he's here, right? We actually wondered if the historical district clipped any of that lot that you would have jurisdiction over.
Just to add to that, I spoke with Mr. Shea today. I checked with the historical map, and lots 9 and lot 1 is pretty much the property line where the historical line ends, which is Coletti's Kitchen,
Okay.
and the 2 vacant lots, which is 359,
Right.
it ends on that side of the street. So this property would not be in the historical district.
Okay, we wanted to ask you that because
Okay.
we wanted to be absolutely sure.
Okay. Would you accept a letter from the historical district in regards to the building that's going to go up? And I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's going to be just a metal building. It's just going to be an area that, I know it's not historical, but given the buildings that are surrounded right across from the golf course, historical house on the corner, 2 other businesses, both the insurance and the Coletti's is also in compliance. And anything, you're talking donuts is still good. There's a house across the street from Dunkin' Donuts. The whole area. We had the intent of having to drive through our town without having somebody go and say, what the heck happened there? And I feel that us as a board feel that that may be the problem if it isn't, if it's complied, let's say. There's a building that's right next to, I think next to Coletti's. If you look in the back, it's a metal building, there's clapboard, it's got some nice windows on it, and you go by and it looks nice.
You're just saying this needs some curb appeal, what it needs.
Thank you.
Instead of just a 4 feet of
Metal
foundation,
box.
4 feet of foundation and a metal building sitting on
Thank
top.
you.
I have the same feelings.
Thank you.
You know, it needs to be, when the time comes.
Okay. I just didn't know how far it was, I just said the other one, the other meeting, I didn't know how far it was. And I could send a letter of
Always accept public comment and anything from the board.
okay. As far as the business and everything else is concerned, I mean, it's, bottom line, and it's just our concern of what it's going to look like, that's all.
Have you guys ever thought to go to extend the historical district? Or
Not
maybe
at the
not?
point, not at the time, no.
Okay.
No. I mean, it's pretty long now.
Yeah.
And we had thought about it at first, and we felt the entrance of the country club would suffice because there's trees there, row trees, and across the street was just a vacant lot, not thinking of the future, what may go in there. And we just stopped at that spot right there. And we started 105 and go all the way down to that spot. So we didn't want to infringe, but just a thought, that's all.
Well, I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so they need a special permit for use for the property.
Okay.
That's what we had them do as of the last meeting on the 5th. And they're extended out to come back in front of us so they don't have to continue the site plan review. If they get their special permit, they can come back. I think they're up the end of March, beginning of April with us. I'll give you the date.
Okay, so I'll send a letter along, pretty much what I just said in there.
Okay,
So we have it on record.
that sounds great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Did we get site plans, Bill? Did they give them to us, or did they just make a presentation? Because it was, I thought, there's a lot going on. Yes, exactly.
But my first thing that I was just what John said, it's curb appeal.
I was looking at it with Mr. Perry today, and I recall him saying that, they were gonna put the trucks inside, and there was a couple officers, but I was kind of surprised to see that actually, it looks like three different. See, that's where. Further in, Mr. Perry pointed out to me today, I haven't noticed. It's this one, I haven't seen this one. Didn't he say that they were gonna use the whole building, the trucks inside of his office?
Right. And that's why I asked that question. But I didn't notice them line. I noticed them here, but I didn't see them.
So, instead of being there, he should use one.
He said
I
no.
understood that he's using the whole thing, that's what he presented.
Correct, and that's what we were about to.
But he knows, geez, it looks like 1, 2.
Does he need 3 offices for his business?
Well,
That's what he said.
remember I had asked that,
Just
and,
to get it.
and so because of this, though, we sent him to zoning. Did you get any applications from him yet, Josiah?
See, because bottom line, when we looked through the book today, there is no definition / criteria for a landscaper. So you try to get, as Mr. Perry pointed out, to get it as close as you can to what's pre-existing, which would require a special permit for,
Storage.
well, it's for the use, it's not
Yeah.
for storage as per se.
Storage is an industrial use.
So you didn't understand that part either, then if it's just for storage as industrial use, then do we have to go down Plymouth Street and get everybody change everybody on Plymouth Street to like industrial, because everybody stores. You know, Walmart stores, Stop and Shop stores, O'Reilly stores, it's.
But that's different, that's retail.
But there was no, other than what, Mr. Perry and I went through.
Everybody else has put the buildings up like this, they use a 1 gram too, they all, that's what they do.
And those are industrial buildings. That's an industrial building, isn't it?
Well, no, it's not necessarily. They use.
No, the one out back behind it is not an industrial building. The one that's set back with a nice lady and.
No, we're talking this one.
Yeah, it's a metal building that they have with clapboards on it, and that's not.
Sort of like a, what do they call it,
Space thing.
no,
I see your point there, so why don't we have 3 offices, 3
I've noticed
bays,
that before too.
3 garage doors, because
Exactly.
that's how they pay for the building, they rent it out.
Right.
And I'm not saying they didn't do that, I mean, that's what people do. That's how, that's how they do it.
What else?
So now the next thing is the board of selectmen's meeting. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry, I got lost. Chris, sorry.
I just want to make a comment, we were talking about curb appeal. I don't know if you've seen it, but online, a lot of people have commented about the porta toilets all along the street. And I know the last meeting, I think you guys asked him, he said that's when he starts building. But someone posted some documents that show that he's actually an owner of that porta toilet company.
Oh, is it advertising?
So, as it goes before you again, I just want to make sure that's not going to be like a porta toilet storage
Yeah,
place too, for landscaping. That might help look good right in the center of town.
very good point. Very good point, thank you for that.
I'd like to make a point on that site that you brought up. Frank Johnston, 257 One Street. He had said in that meeting, he put those toilets out there now to start construction, but I did construction all my life, and toilets are $500-600 a month. There's no construction going on, and there's 4 toilets out there. Why is that? There's no, the only thing that I saw out there was guys doing perk testing and surveyor, the only people I ever see working over there. So why would you have facilities for 40 people, each one 10 people a week for a unit?
I had the same question.
So why are they there? So is,
I don't know. It looks like. Yeah, it looks good.
you know,
Is it signage?
is that the zoning issue with building guy or what? But they've been there long enough now that they need to go.
I actually asked the Board of Health about it, and he said there's no permit process in Halifax for those.
Surprised it's so
Jim?
I will look into that.
Okay. Signage.
Okay.
Good points, guys. Thank you.
I also spoke with the Board of Health regarding possible permitting Porter Johns going forward, Porter Toilet.
I thought there was like a parade or something on there. You said no, if I'm going for a walk, I don't have to worry. I get old and face out.
Yeah, no, you can't go too far, I understand.
Oh, God.
Good signs.
Yeah, and they're closer than 14 feet to the road, meaning the police chief. Anyway, moving on. Board of Selectmen meeting on January 10th, 2023 regarding, and I'm just gonna separate these one at a time. So Dealey Way has a sinkhole and possibly more at their other mantles. And I have sent documentation, including all the way back to 2002 when that subdivision was approved to town council. I have not gotten a reply as of yet, but I will work on that and get an update. Sure.
I did speak, not to interrupt, but
No,
I did
no, fine.
speak with Mr. Haywood regarding deal
Yeah,
there. And he said there were 4 total that are basically underground that they have, yeah.
The 2 plates on.
And they just-
so long with
right.
the rock on the
And he also said something that Steve was looking into the fact there, it's like, whether or not the street itself has been approved or it has
No,
not,
so
or it
that's-
hasn't been finished.
It's just like pasture land.
So what's the liability? You thought it was only going maybe 20 years, you might know better than that. Is there some kind of, or is in fact the developer liable for it? To fix it?
It's his road.
It's his road. So that's what we're asking town council. What can we do? Because it's actually a private road. And every question that was listed in the Board of Selectmen's meeting, I put into the letter to town council.
Oh, great, awesome. Thank
Yeah, he
you.
says just like pasture land, he's saying it's gonna cost more to finish the road than the lots worth, so he won't do it. It's just this, it was a bad deal to begin with, it's just coming back and biting us in the butt.
Yeah, we never should have done
It
it.
wasn't us, it was the previous board, which I can't understand why.
2002.
I can't understand why they would do something like that, had to benefit somebody. It's just, I've done enough.
And I don't think it's particularly just Halifax, I know Hanover ran the same thing, but the builder just said, nah, well, let's see if they go like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
That's why-
not worth it to me.
Yeah.
It costs me more money to do it than the bond.
Most builders I work with, when they want that bond back, it's just a size.
Yeah, because it's a piece of change. This is,
But this is a lot, and
and it's the worst lot
which,
in the development, so.
That's usually, they should have done the best lots.
Yeah, you live in there. But anyway, that there, so they,
so that's in with town council.
okay,
Pasture Lane is also in with town council.
good.
And that was based on talking about process of what needs to happen from here. And then Sherwood is a totally different issue. Sherwood is that they have a bond, not the full bond, however that was. And I don't know, in 2018, the planning board allowed a partial release of a bond. And apparently, it's not done. Last year, when this was on our agenda, I guess the contractor is saying it is, but it hasn't.
So does
that
legal have
all-
to get involved with that also? Yeah.
All of it, I have sent it all to legal and I have not received back yet. I did it last Friday.
So,
No, sorry, Wednesday. The day after
how
the
do you
selectmen's
normally
meeting.
do that? You can purchase a bond for, let's just say, $100,000, and you can get a partial bond released. I thought it was all or nothing. I never heard of it. I didn't even know you could do that.
There were cash bonds. Like, I know there are a lot of roads in town that have literal cash bombs and not, literal cash.
No, that's what insurance company.
And I talked to Sandy Nolan about it as well, and she verified that some of them have like an account. Like, from what I understand. Yeah. Jim?
Yeah, with those cash bonds, typically what happens is the developer puts up a cash bond for 1.5 times what it would cost to finish the road at the point that he puts up that bond. That number is usually determined by the town's review engineer. And as he progresses and gets other items done along the way, he can request bond reduction, which would then go through the town engineer to suggest how much should be released.
Also, this amount was done and finished and completed, so we'll,
So let's say he has a top coat, you know what I mean? And, you know, he's looking for $80,000 because, you know, he paid the paving contractor and it's done. As
okay.
long as it's done satisfactorily.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, that's really how you get this stuff done.
Yeah.
So going forward, the town should only take cash bonds or pass bonds. Even surety bonds are really iffy.
All right, we're all set.
Okay. And then,
Is that complete, the board of selectmen?
and we have, yes, in my opinion, unless you guys have questions.
You good?
Um, the correspondence should be in. We have correspondence, can I ask you guys, it was, I think, it's in the office, it's not in the folder right now.
Oh, but it's, when you correspond from other towns and whatnot, so,
Yes.
but they did what they passed.
Yes.
So we never really commented.
But it's all together, if you wanna look at it, it's in her binders right on our desk, and but I didn't fix.
All right.
So, I guess next on our agenda, we have, executive session, if you want, so choose to do that.
Well,
I'm sorry. I was here for 0 and 592 Plymouth, but I'm thinking.
Oh, it was on for a possible future date, because I think you were supposed to come.
Yeah, so we had asked for a continuation at the last meeting, and so I wasn't prepared to present anything tonight anyhow. I just
Yeah.
wanted to update the board and let you know that we've worked through with conservation and need to make some changes to the site plan and we kept the track. So.
Yes, we have that letter, that's, do you just mind, just so that we have it on record? Yeah, we just had that on there for future, because that's why it was listed, under, that we're still, hearings continue to a future meeting, and that's where we had you, we just were making sure that the public was updated, that it was up and coming still.
Okay.
Due to the not having a secretary, so we just keeping everything there as a workable source.
Okay.
Sorry for confusion.
No, that's okay. So,
Thanks for coming.
Is the next meeting February 2nd?
It is. Would you like to be on that meeting?
Yeah.
Okay, I will put you that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, I have a motion to go into executive session, or if you want to. I do have a memo.
oh. I thought our last discussion, we basically handing it over to the.
Yeah. I did. So, may I have a motion to go into executive session and letting them know that we will not be coming back into public session. So moved.
I'll make the motion. Okay, so,
All in favor?
roll call.
Bert?
Yes.
Rick?
I'm sorry, yes.
No, don't be.
I don't even thought of it.
You don't. Thank you for the reminder, we're working together here, aren't we?
100%.
Rick?
Yes.
Amy? Aye.